So what does it mean to live in the end, to act as if you've got your desire now? There's a misconception here, living in the end, acting as if. And there's a lot of coaches out there who are misinterpreting Neville's teachings because they don't have experience of the law. And they're teaching you stuff that acting as if, for example, you're manifesting a specific person, right? You're acting as if you're in a loving relationship with your specific person. So that means you shouldn't date other people because you're acting as if. You should tell people you're in a relationship, you're off the market. You should pretend and be delusional about it. Be delulu, the solulu, and all this ridiculousness. Oh God. So I'm going to explain to you from years of experience and understanding and actually putting the law into practice, because I think the only way that you can truly understand Neville's teachings is if you live it and experience it for yourself. And a lot of people are just regurgitating stuff, making out like they know the law, just to grab your money because, you know, we're in a vulnerable situation. For a lot of people who are manifesting a specific person, you're in a vulnerable situation. And so they take advantage of that. But I'm going to teach you from my actual experience, the truth, everything you need to know about what it means to live in the end and to act as if you have your desire. That's what this video is going to be about today. So if you do enjoy the content, can I just please ask you to like and subscribe just to help this channel to grow so we can reach a wider audience and get the message out there to more people who are going through the same turmoil and confusion. I'm Athena Raven and I'm a mental health and manifestation life coach, here to clarify the misinformation that's out there, to override it, hopefully, and to share with you my experiences and that of my clients too, so you can hopefully all realize your desires. That's my intention for all of you. No matter how you do it, you're going to get success, okay? So when it comes to this, like I say, I've heard some crazy things out there, and we're not acting as if it's here now. We're not acting as if we're some sort of crazy delusional person telling our friends SP is back. Yes, I'm in a relationship. I've heard all kinds of things, wearing a wedding ring now and pretending that I'm married. Neville always stated, you know, you don't wear a physical wedding ring. It's in imagination. You see, you start off with having a desire. I desire, for example, to be in a loving relationship with this specific person that I've got in mind, or any person. Maybe you don't have anyone specific. You desire to be in a relationship. So I've established what it is that I want, and I'm clear about it. I've made that decision. Now I'm going to go to the end. When I go to the end, I'm envisaging in my imagination the scene after I've got my desire. That's going and living in the end. Okay, so my scene is not I get a text from my SP, because that's not my end result. I don't just want communication. My end scene is not SP comes back and takes me on a date. That's not my end. My end scene is that we are already in an established, loving, committed relationship. That's the mood that I want to capture with my imaginal act. And I ask myself, okay, what would the feeling be like if it were true? Let's be playful with this. Let's be a child again and explore this feeling. You know, I want that shiny bike. Kids just imagine that they've already got that bike, and in their mind, they're already riding that bike and having the time of their life. So let's do it as adults, because we're just kids at the end of the day in an adult body. Okay, so what would the feeling be like if it was true? Let me imagine it. And I can imagine it in numerous ways, through auditory senses. Maybe I'm hearing the conversation with my SP that suggests we're in a loving, committed relationship. I'm hearing the voices of congratulations and happiness with my friends as I tell them I've got my specific person. We're having a wonderful relationship. I can't believe it's been this many years or whatever. Maybe you're seeing it. Maybe you're visualizing it. And you're seeing them or feeling them wrapping their arms around you, telling you how much they love you, feeling the kisses, their soft lips against your face. It doesn't matter how you do it, but essentially your aim is to capture the feeling of that wish being fulfilled. You go to the end in imagination, ergo, you go to the scene after you've achieved your desire, after you've gotten your result. What does that feel like? Capture that mood. It's not a heightened emotion. It's just about that feeling is natural. That's real. And I'm acting as if in imagination. I've got my desire now. I'm acting as if I heard the congratulations and the good news. I'm acting as if I've been cuddled up on the sofa and me and my SP are living together and we've been established in this loving relationship. That's how you're going to the end. That's how you're acting as if. When you come back to your 3D reality, you don't continue to act as though you're some sort of crazy delusional person. This is met with so much cognitive dissonance. This is met with so much resistance from your 3D self. You're just acting as if it is done. You're acting as if this issue has been taken care of. You're walking in the faith, in the knowing that what I've just experienced in my imagination is the creative power. I've just experienced a reality that's already in existence now. You see, 3D version of us, we can admit, we can be, we're allowed to be realistic here. We don't have to be cray-cray, delusional, mad, cart me off to the asylum because I'm telling everyone I'm in a relationship when I'm not, and I'm married when I'm not, and I'm affirming SP is contacting me all the time when they're not. I'm not going to fight my 3D self. I'm in acceptance that 3D version of me is just this avatar that my consciousness has created with all the labels that I have applied to myself to shape my current self-concept. I've got these limitations of my earthly 5 senses that can only pick up so much information. It filters out information all the time. It makes things visible and invisible to us all the time. So I accept that, and I accept it's not in my 3D reality yet. But I also accept and understand that internally, my divine self, my God self, my universe self, the creative power, has the ability to experience any reality in any dimension, any space and time, right here, right now. And so as my imagination is the creative source, and if we believe that everything stems from imagination, as Neville has taught us, everything that you are seeing and experiencing in your world, the clothes you're wearing, the couch you were sitting on, the phone that you are using right now to watch this perhaps, or your laptop, started off in someone's imagination. So I'm going to the creative power, the imagination, and I'm living as if in imagination, and I'm coming back here living as if it is just done. I'm living in acceptance. That's why we walk by faith and not by sight. We're not trying to convince our 3D self that it's here now. We're just walking in the faith of this outcome, in the unseen reality, in the conviction that although it is unseen at the moment, it will be realized in the 3D. Coco's jumping all over the place and shaking my phone. But does that make sense? There's no need to be crazy about it and pretend with your 3D self and fight with your 3D self. Because what a great way to cause resistance. What a great way to stay in lack for the longest time. Let's just go to imagination. Live in the end in imagination. Live as if we've got our desire now in imagination. And therefore, because I know that my imagination is the creative power, I connect to my divine self rather than stay stuck with my limited 3D self and the limitations of my 3D reality and what is currently showing me. I'm not interested in 3D. It's always going to be my delayed expression. So even though 3D is telling me no, is telling me it's impossible, is telling me SP is saying they don't love you, they don't want to be with you, or they're in another relationship, or you're not in contact, even though it could be stating all of this, I can accept that that's the case, and we're not in contact, and we're not at my end goal right now. But this situation is going to change. I know that because I visited it in imagination. Imagination is the actual true reality. So there it is. I'm living in the end in imagination. I'm living as if I've got my desire. I've gone to the end scene after I've got my desire. That's living in the end, living as if I've heard the congratulations. I've felt them wrapping their arms around me. I felt that we're in a loving, committed relationship. And in 3D, I'm being just realistic about it and stating when this happens, because I know it's going to happen. I'm expecting it. I'm not lacking in it. I'm not waiting for it. I'm just expectant of it and expecting that this is going to change. But I'm living as if by accepting that it's done. I'm living in the end. by walking in acceptance and in faith that it is done. And what is currently unseen is going to be made seen to me at some point in time. Walk in faith, not by sight. Walk in faith, not by delusion, not by affirming it to yourself and pushing it and forcing yourself. It's all about knowing who you truly are, the power of who you are within, the power of imagination, understanding that imagination is the creative source. And anything you experience in imagination and accept as truth and make natural to you will be projected out. That is the law. That is how it works. So don't be fighting your mind all the time. Don't be pushing yourself and trying to affirm over your reality and trying to ignore your reality. That's going to be met with so much resistance. Just accept it. I accept it and I accept that my circumstances are not currently showing me where I wish to be right now. Because you've got to think of it this way. Think of other things that you've manifested in the past before you became a conscious creator. Were you being delulu about it? Were you telling your friends that, yeah, I'm in this relationship already when you weren't? I mean, you were expecting love to show up. And like when you first met your SP, you weren't doing any of that. What about a car or a house or a job that you wanted to manifest? You weren't telling everybody that's what I am now. And you weren't affirming that's what I am now. And you weren't pushing all these techniques down your throat that that's what I am now. That's who I am. 3D self, fight with my 3D self. No, 3D self is limited. And 3D reality is delayed expression. So we leave that all behind. And we accept that it's going to change. We just had a focus and knowing of what our end goal was, of what we wanted. And we didn't see any other reality aside from that. We didn't accept any other reality. There's all the realities in existence. It's all infinite. But the state we wish to occupy, that's where our focus and attention goes. That's what we've honed in on. That's what we're accepting. We're not accepting any less. And so with that, we're just walking as if it is done. And then when you're walking as if it is done, it's been accepted, your prayers have been heard. You don't question it anymore. You might have the odd doubt creeping in here and there, but mainly, dominantly, day to day, you're not doubting it, you're not questioning it, you're not talking about it and talking how it's not working. You're living as if this issue has been sorted and solved. I'm living in the end. I've seen that. My vision was a premonition of the future and I've accepted that it's done. So it's done. So I don't need to doubt it and talk about it and have all these thoughts to the contrary and fight with myself. It's done. It's finished. Creation's finished. What more is there to do? Live your life. Live your life like a normal sane person and don't be delusional about it because you're the creator at the end of the day, you know? So I really hope that this helped you out and I'll see you guys in the next video.